So with this is Auburn. This is going to be a video on the best offlaners in the patch 6.87. So now that we've finally gotten our new patch for the Manila Major, this has been a very interesting patch because of how it was done. Normally, heroes are buffed and heroes are nerfed, and maybe some hero skills are reworked a little bit, and maybe some stuff gets changed a little. But this patch is very interesting because there's very few buffs to heroes that make them just blatantly good, and there's a lot of nerfs. So this means that there aren't going to be any new crazy heroes that enter the meta or any crazy OP stuff. There's very few just absolutely broken heroes, rather than last patch where you had OD and Invoker and Death Prophet just kind of running rampant. There's not a lot of that due to the fact that very few heroes were buffed. Most were just nerfed. The only hero who has kind of joined the offlane hero pool as strong offlaners has been Axe. The change that made counter helix pure damage, as well as the fact that Blade Mail was buffed, has made Axe probably the top offlaner of this patch. If I had to pick one, it would be Axe. The pure damage pretty much means that he scales way better than he did before, as well as the fact that he just hurts more. A lot of high armor heroes just kind of get shredded by counter helix now, rather than before you kind of spin them and it wouldn't really do that much damage, especially to high armor heroes. Now that it's pure damage, it pretty much just completely ignores that. So his laning has been buffed, his jungling has been buffed due to the fact that the creep's armor now no longer negates counter helix. His late game has been buffed. Pretty much every stage of that hero has been buffed by the fact they changed counter helix to pure damage. So Axe is now pretty much the strongest offlaner. Other than that, the heroes who were previously strong offlaners last patch are still strong. Void, Prophet, and Beastmaster, they were all nerfed. However, they're still good at what they did before, despite minor nerfs. So these heroes are still strong, they're just less generic. For example, Beastmaster probably isn't a first pick hero, but if you're still looking for a draft that wants to disable as well as 5-main potential, Beastmaster is still going to be the pick you go to. Same thing with Prophet. He's not a first pick type hero anymore, but if you need a split pushing hero who can push out waves, Prophet's still there. Same thing with Void. The heroes are less generic, however, they're all still very strong. So if I had to pick top 5 offlaners, probably Axe, Faceless Void, Darkseer, as well as Nature's Prophet. These heroes are all still incredibly strong despite their nerfs. The quality that makes a strong offlaner as a hero is it needs to be able to contribute with very little farm and XP, or it needs to have the ability to get farm and XP despite having a rough lane. So an example of this is a hero I'll say Earthshaker, offlane Earthshaker. It's great because he has an ability to guarantee himself XP and gold by fissure blocking the creeps, and he only needs a Blink Dagger to contribute to the game. Pretty much everything after Blink Dagger on that hero is luxury. Obviously, the hero can use a 4-stat pretty well, he can use Nocturne Core, but after Blink Dagger, that hero is pretty much fine for the rest of the game. He's good. So he doesn't need a lot of gold, and he doesn't need a lot of levels to be relevant into the game. An example of a hero who kind of needs gold and levels, but is good at getting them despite his difficult lane is a hero like Prophet, where, if he's strong laner with his Treants, very few supports can actually deal with him in lane, and he can jungle with the Treants. So, although the hero does need farm and levels, he's not he just gets an item and then he's good for the rest of the game like an Earthshaker. He needs gold and items, but he can afford to get them despite a hard lane, Darkseer is another hero who's a very good example of this. Although, you can't just say, he needs a Blink Dagger and he's good for the rest of the game like you can with, a Sand King or a Slardar or an Earthshaker. But he still gets farmed despite getting shut down in lane from Iron Shell and jungling. So, those are pretty much the two key qualities that make an offlaner are they need to be able to either survive their lane and manage with pretty much little to nothing the entire game, like Nyx or Earthshaker, or they need to be able to farm despite a hard lane, like a Void, a Darkseer, or a Prophet. So let's finish off this video. If you have any questions, comments, criticisms, leave in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.